I don't understand why they're protecting the wrong people.
Well, we're about to get into a little bit more detail now.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Are we going to get Charlie Kirk? Right. I mean, if that's the case for speaking the truth, prove me right and do it then.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Misfits, Uncaged. We are, as promised, we're welcoming back Calvin Smith. Hey, Cal.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry.
Back. Thank you for inviting me back.
A lot of stuff has went down, so figured we need to have another talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a little nervous, a little bit more this time, I think, because I feel like there was so much we were light about before that I'm excited to kind of get a little more in depth with everything new that's going on. So
yeah. So let me do a little bit of a rundown of some of the stuff that's happened since we last talked. We have Irina Zaritska, a Ukrainian refugee murdered in Charlotte on August 29th, stabbed on the train by DeCarlos Brown Jr. He had several priors. I think it was roughly like 14 priors.
yeah, I was very much into this one.
Yeah. And then this isn't even like the gist of it all, but we're going to this one right here.
Oh yeah. What a tragedy.
So Charlie Kirk was assassinated September 10th, shot by a sniper while speaking at Utah Valley. Tyler Robinson, age 22, arrested after confessing to his father. The motive seemed to be tied to leftist views clashing with Charlie's. His boyfriend was apparently a furry or something.
Yeah, furry or trans and a furry.
So this is like, I'm not even really sure. It's like, is it somebody who actually thinks they're this thing, or is it just like a sexual fetish we're dealing with?
You know, I hate to say it's a sexual fetish because then that would make somebody very much into animals. I just call it mental illness myself personally because why in the hell?
I don't know. I see. That's what I was thinking. Like, is this like somebody who actually thinks they're animal, or are they just? I'm assuming it's a fetish. I don't quite understand it, but it's a rising popular thing happening.
It really is. Like, dress how you want, but
With Charlie, I truly believe
yeah,
silence your voices, silence yourself. This is what can happen to you. We don't get anywhere with silence.
no, we don't. That's the truth.
If we were scared before, we got to be braver now.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my recollection, this is my first big assassination in my lifetime, or at least to me that I can remember anyway. And it really struck home with me a lot because, you know, my family is very, very conservative themselves. So it's like this was a big strike down, and it really makes our community look that much more shitty because of that.
Even if you disagree with the dude, he respected you.
Yep.
These are human beings we're dealing with. It doesn't make somebody evil if they disagree with you. Charlie spent, his time going to college campuses, debating, allowing for an open mind for people to voice their opinions. The debate's healthy. It's something we have to have.
Yeah.
People are getting angry by that. Now, from my understanding, you have found yourself in a few debates yourself here lately.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
There was one night you spent quite a few hours, and even just the smallest debate can just turn back fast. Right here, we have Matt on your, I guess this is your Facebook, correct?
Yeah.
So somebody comes in and says to you, pretty wild, you support people that want you dead. So you come back in with him and you say, not sure where you heard that lie, or if it's just something that supports a narrative, but no one wants me dead. He says lie is a narrative, more like brainwash. But hey, go dress up at the next MAGA meeting in Indy and tell us how warmly receptive they are to you.
I have no doubt in my mind when they first see me, they'll go based off of looks, of course. But once they get to talk to me, they'll realize that perhaps maybe I have a little bit more of a different view than most. So,
yeah, he threw some what appears to be, I guess, quotes just randomly pulled from Charlie's mouth at some point.
yeah.
Okay. And then we have you saying, telling him that this is out of context, like I said, to support your narrative, and no worries, straight people are my specialty because I'm a bridge. I
am a bridge. I really am.
And he comes back and he says, yes, every word he spoke was out of context. No, you pulled individual quotes from somebody speaking at hours of event. Those events were like typically 3 hours long.
Right. He didn't just say that one sentence.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he said, oh yes, out of context. It'd be easy enough because I wouldn't require them to call me a woman, he said.
That's right.
And he says, Calvin, homie, they don't like drag queens either. But hey, as I said, go find out for your own. Go find out on your own. He then blocked you.
Yeah.
That was the gist of the debate with him. He was, they fucking hate you. And then he was like, I'm out. Bye. Peace.
Right. It's like when you go back at them and you're like, why don't you watch a whole video and then come back with me? Why don't you go to each one of those statements and watch the entire debate on that statement?
Yeah. He did not do that. He blocked you.
Yeah.
And then you go on to say, okay, yeah, you blocked me. And anyone else, I really don't care. Healthy debating is fine. Healthy debating is fine.
It really is.
We don't have to have different views. We don't have to agree. It's fine. Right. So was that frustrating for you to have that? Because again, it wasn't even very long before he blocked you. Was that the gist of for you? Is every time you approach somebody with your point of view, is that kind of what happened? You get shut down that fast?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've probably been blocked, guaranteed, more than 20 or 30 times just in the last few weeks.
That's insane. What do you think is causing that? Because I'll tell you right now, this Matt Seedorf guy, I don't hate him. I feel like he's just he's had something. He has a reason he thinks this way. I don't know if it's just the people he surrounds himself by, if it's legacy media. I don't know, but I don't hate him. I don't know him. He just sat here and attacked you. But I can actually see this point of view amongst a lot of people who have no idea what Charlie stood for, what he said. They just hearsay a lot of it. Like if I heard some of the stuff that Charlie Kirk has said and I did not watch him ever, I probably have a negative point of view too.
Oh yeah, so, absolutely.
Those little pieces you pick out.
Right. Like, every time I've come into something that I felt like that I've heard that might have been negative towards me or a feeling that I should be feeling mad about, I really give it the opportunity. And I go a little bit more in depth. I want to find that interview or that debate, and I want to go in there and I actually want to hear every word of it.
Yeah, see, I'm that person I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna find the long format. I'm gonna sit down and watch every freaking bit of it.
Exactly. I want to be able to understand like he understood it, how he was talking about it, and I can't just understand it based off one sentence. I just can't.
It has to be able to fit into a 15-second clip for people to watch it. And then you can clip those 15 seconds, and that just defines that person at that point.
Exactly. It really is.
So, on our last interview, I had brought up, or actually, you had brought up Diamond Dolls. Yes. And kind of how you went from, performing kind of the crown. You had the crown.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
suddenly it was just all ripped from you.
Oh yeah.
Could,
Yep.
could you go back for anyone who hasn't seen the first video and just summarize kind of where we left off on that, because we did not get into detail and we're about to get into a little bit more detail now.
Okay. Absolutely. So I won my crown in 2022. You reign for a full year, and that gives you the opportunities to be able to work with charities. You're supposed to be able to find work with your title to be able to, do what we do, raise money and spread awareness of A, B, C, D, and E in the rainbow, basically. So my big thing is I've been a foster parent for the last 10 years, and that was kind of what I wanted to wrap my reign around, was more children-oriented things. As the time went on and on and on, and I kept pushing the envelope as what I wanted to do, what kind of charities I wanted to work with, who I wanted to work for and raise money for, it just never happened. They had to have this or that excuse. They turned me into a racist. I was turned into a transphobe. And, I just I couldn't wrap my head around it, because I've been so supportive of everybody, like, my entire life. So to be labeled those things really put a damper on me. And like I said, I found the third party owner of the title. They finally, spoke out against the other two, and they threw out a lot of excuse me. They threw out a lot of what was going on from the original owners and about their past. Mainly the one over the other, but I mean, if you're going to marry somebody, you're going to support that person and everything that they do or have done. So it's not right. It's not right. And sadly, the one, he was a child molester, and he was registered every state around Indiana. And they really wanted to protect him versus help me, or even give me the opportunity to bow out, because they knew I was a foster parent to start with. They could have told me in the beginning, hey, this is where we stand. This probably isn't the title for you. Yeah. They could have told me that right off. Yeah. Because, I mean, that puts me in jeopardy with my kids, representing people like that. Yeah. So, like, that really should put a lot of bad light on me. And then when I fought back, the place where they were doing this, the one singular bar, mostly, that they hang out at, a whole ring of these people were there, a whole ring. And it wasn't until recently, actually, that I found out a second person has been arrested now. And they were arrested back in January. So it took a while for me to actually find this out. I actually found this out not too long after our last interview.
This is Sports Guy, correct?
Let me see here. Oh yeah. This is one of the owners of the Diamond Dolls title. Yeah, absolutely. And he's got priors. He just never registered in Indiana, and they were hiding him. The husband mainly was hiding him.
Yeah, so it was kind of like I read through it a little bit, and Kenneth Walden is his name. Street. I think he's 44 now.
Yeah,
based on what I'm seeing. They said that he had lengthy criminal history involving sexual misconduct against a child and registration offenses.
Yeah.
You see here, August 20th, 2000, convicted in, Michigan. On October 2nd, 2007, he was convicted of being a child sex offender at a public park in Illinois. And in 2011, in Jasper, Illinois, he failed to register when he moved, I'm assuming.
Uh-huh.
I found his few of his charges here, and noticed that the U.S. District Court Chief Judge Tanya Walton Pratt has ordered that Walden be supervised by the U.S. Probation Office for life following his release from federal prison, and he only got sentenced to 15 years.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible, because a lot of these kids are going to live with that for their entire life, beyond 15 years. So, It's kind of crap, but oh yeah, this is the other guy. This is the one that I found out more about recently, and him and Ken, they were intertwined in the same circle that I was trying to expose at this time, because
So
I'm the one that ended up with the bad light.
you got canceled, I think, about 2 or 3 times by now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you just cancel you some more.
right. Basically, so I mean, if speaking what's right is what's going to get me canceled, I guess I'll stand alone and speak loud.
Yeah. Yeah. So I found these on mycase.in.gov, and
Okay.
so this person, Sunshine Vroman. Who is this person?
What is the name?
Sunshine Vroman. This is where somebody had updated. I don't know if you know who this person is, but they said you can call the corrections department, and they gave the number if you would like to
Yeah.
report social media activity.
Yeah, I actually think this is like a news group.
Okay, so they were saying, hey, this person may have already violated their probation by publicly posting to brag about them free.
Yep. Yep.
So this person got out. Is Quentin back in now?
You see, I'm not 100% sure if he's sitting in or if he's sitting out, because the way I'm understanding it is he gave up his phone and a lot of phone records. And I believe that that's why they released him, because he gave up names and other people.
So that's where I'm seeing this at. So if you looked at right here, I'm showing 10 charges. All
Okay.
of them were dismissed except for the first 2, child exploitation, because it's plea by agreement,
Yep.
which may have led us to these disgusting texts.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely horrible. I read through some of these text messages and I was completely floored. Like, why would you keep this stuff if you're not trying to get caught, first of all? And then to use that as
Maybe they tried to delete it and maybe they recovered it. I don't know. I'm
not 100% sure on that. I was all on top of this. As soon as I saw this out, I was like, one of the people, and this person is another drag queen, by the way. They're a drag queen as well. Um, I was so on top of this. Like, I know that this community is really into this stuff. They're really wrapping themselves around protecting people. And I don't understand why they're protecting the wrong people.
I'm assuming money. That's my assumption. There's some sort of.
And see, I actually just found out that the bartender whom originally started to throw me out of the bar, that told me that I cost the bar money,
Yeah.
she recently was let go. So I'm wondering if she'll flip sides here at this point, because I mean, you got to speak on what's right. You really do. And if you're not, then you're literally wrong. And that's just the bottom line.
What drives people to this point where you're actually protecting child predators? I don't understand that this, and you're saying that this is not. I don't know if it's common, but you're saying that it's there definitely.
It is. And
in your face.
The more I'm around, like, I've got friends, and I've got a guy I do talk to, and he was a victim. I've been trying to get him to come forward. I think he's a little more scared. He's a little younger, so I get it. It is a scary, scary platform to put yourself out there to speak against something that's wrong, because look at me, I'm canceled. So
like twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
This might be your 3rd time.
That's okay. I don't mind being canceled at this point. Like, how much more can you cancel me? What are you gonna do?
So do you are you feeling like this person that you're talking about actually kind of linked directly to what we're talking about right now with?
Yeah, there are a few people in this sex ring that still haven't been exposed 100% yet.
Yeah.
And the Diamond Doll, or the Kenneth guy, he did actually disclose with me that he woke up in the back of their car one night and didn't realize how he even got there. And this is why I was like, you're being victimized right now. You're being taken advantage of, and your age, he's young, he's 25. And these things have been happening to him since the day he started walking into bars, the day he turned 21. I met him when he was 21. But I was married at that time, so it's not like we hung out all the time. It's not like we were like back and forth. Like, every time I'd see him, he was with a different person. And I felt so bad because these people were really taking advantage of this young man. They would get him high. He said he didn't even realize he was drunk one time until it hit him, and then he was falling down. He broke his nose in a bar, fell on his face, broke his nose.
Was there other drugs being used? Or was it just alcohol?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of the PSP. There's date rape drugs going on in there. People are, I don't know if you've ever heard of poppers, but you can really get high on poppers. It's something that's a sniff. It's in a little tiny jar. It's supposed to loosen you up.
That's what alcohol's for. Like that's why you just stop right at
Some people think that you're not drinking enough, so they got to figure out a way to get you to that point where they want to take advantage of you.
So, with you coming in here and speaking out, is there like I know you've had to raise your children, you've had a lot of responsibility, and as you're discovering the twistedness and what you thought would be a safe community,
right?
This is where I've been. I'm comfortable with people, and then all of a sudden to have that smacked in your face. So I know that's all affected you. But is there
like I've been a cross-dresser for over 20 years, and I'll say cross-dresser because I do wear boobs and I do wear hips. So that to me is cross-dressing. Yeah. It's one thing if you're wearing just an outfit. It's a whole nother thing if you're really going for the full image. So to me, that's cross-dressing. And I've been doing that since I was 14 years old. So well over 20 years. And I've never had this kind of issue except for in this big city. And everybody's like, oh, well, these people are against you. Well, I've been doing straight communities my entire life. I've been in every small town, Indiana, you could probably imagine, doing what I can do as far as being a positive role model. And to come here and to think, oh, well, I did all this with straight people, and I did all these in this small community. I thought coming here would make it a lot easier, but it's not, because the community here, they're very set in their ways.
What do you think actually caused that? Because why are you so different from them? Why is it that because I don't see a lot, I see some people coming out, speaking out. I see people actually being like, I lived this way for a while and I've seen this. And so I'm here. I'm redoing myself. Let me back up. Yeah. I can reevaluate this.
Yeah. It's a big social thing, really. If you're not fitting in and doing as they do, then they don't want you here.
You're out.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
Agree exactly with everything that we say.
Exactly.
What is it about you and your past that has led you to this point? Because I know every time, especially when people get radicalized, when we have our very firm point of views and we're like, this is it, there's usually something that's led up to it. What is it about you and your story that has made you say, this is wrong, this has to stop, I'm going to speak out, do what you want, cancel me, whatever it takes, I'm going to speak out about this? What was that trigger?
I would have to say a big part of making me want to speak more was when I became a foster parent. But if we were to track it far back as childhood for me, I was a molested child. I was taken advantage by men, and they played off of my femininity, and they took advantage of that. And everything that not every last little thing, but everything that would happen, I just thought was supposed to be normal for me because this was me, and they were acknowledging my femininity, and they were, giving me things. They give my dad things. My dad was kind of involved into this as well. I ended up in foster care after 14. It's kind of what threw my mind differently, because then I was like, okay, well, I can dress like a woman. I can pretend to be a woman, and, I can, whatever I can do. And, I had my friends and they supported me, and, it wasn't about calling me a different name or calling me a different gender. It was just about them understanding that that was part of me. And I don't think that I would have started doing those things had these people not messed with me. Had my dad actually was competent enough to stay off of alcohol and drugs to protect me, I feel like things would have been completely different. And to be where I'm at now and to be looking back and to see a lot of what's going on in the community and with these pedophiles and trying to hide them, I was that kid once too. And I have all this stuff that I have to live on. Granted, I mean it's negative what happened, but I'm able to see a positive light in who I've become and the experiences that I've had to be able to use that as like my real big spring forward to fight for these kids. I don't have to know these kids to know that I'm fighting a good fight.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that to happen to my nieces and nephew, whom I adopted and who I've taken care of. I was married, but things happen. But it's always been about protecting them first, and being able to support what they want and how they want to live their lives. Like at one point, my youngest thought she was a trans boy. And although I supported her decision to want to be called a different name and go by different pronouns, I couldn't support the idea of surgeries or anything like that. Thankfully, she's in a better mindset now. She's had a boyfriend the last 3 years and they've been together, she's not going to school right now. She's taking a little mental time out of school, which is good for her because, you got to know your breaking points. And that's something I've always taught them, if there's something that's too much, just set it aside and pick it up later and start again. So for me, it all tracks back to my childhood and to see the negative effect that's happening to other kids as well. And I've protected mine, and I only expect that others should do the same and be more involved. Be supportive, but be involved. Know what's going on. Have open conversations. Be real.
It's getting harder to do that.
It is because of social constructs.
Yeah. I don't know, other than just keep talking and keep reaching out.
Yes.
But people are going to get scared. If you bought this kind of extremism every time somebody disagrees with you, I think it was like yesterday it was yesterday, an ICE agent was shot at.
Yeah.
We have people that they don't agree, they're just gonna shoot.
And that's that it just seems to be something that's a continued pattern. If you're not out here to at least support them or whatever, they're going to attack back. They're going to choose violence because they feel like violence silencing anything that is against them, they're winning.
So what is the words that you have for people like you that won't speak out? If you could just say anything to them right now at this point, knowing that the environment we're in, the political environment is not good, but it's not going to get better. So what would you say to make it better? What would be your advice to them?
Well, I would say is, although you're scared, you got to be brave too. And you really, really, really have to stand on your beliefs. And there are others like us. And you support, if you can find a support system and a group, I say find it in the lesbians, to be honest. But that's just not. Is that where
it's at, the lesbians? Okay, so
that's where that's really. I mean, my life, I was protected by lesbians. I feel like my entire life, every year of my life, I can tell you for a fact that I have had protective lesbians in my life.
Nurturing.
Yeah.
Lesbians would be way more nurturing.
And the sad part is, so a lot of these lesbians, they've been hurt in their lives, and that's kind of helped them to like make their choices, I guess, in life to be who they are. Other than if you feel it, you feel it. But I would say they just need to not be so scared. They need to be brave. They need to stand up. And if you're speaking truth, and if you're speaking on honesty, and what's right is right, you got to do it. You have to do it. You can't be scared of the negative thing that's going to happen to you, because what that's going to do is look what's going on with Charlie Kirk. That was a negative thing that happened to him, but he was never a negative person to anybody else. He spoke on his belief system, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't going to be the person that threw the stone, but he's going to recite the scripture to you so you understand, like, this is how it was at one point. We're not that way anymore. The Bible was written so long ago. It's very, very word to mouth kind of thing now.
He was
And
very
nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to be a part of that in this socialness. It is insane.
Is it just, do you think it's just people caving to their own wants? Like they just want what they want and society has to adhere to whatever it is I want? Like what is happening? Because it used to be everybody worked together. Yes, there's going to be disagreements. This is how we got to get stuff done. And at what point did we just be like, it's about me and my thing and whatever it is that I like, then you have to like it. If you don't, you're a bigot. I don't.
It's easy to say yes. It's easy to say yes. It's easy to follow the leader. It's easy to go that direction. The hard thing to do is to say no.
Yeah. But if you love somebody, you would say no.
Yeah.
When something's hurting them, you would have the guts to step up and say no. And here's
Right.
why.
Right.
You wouldn't
I
just
was
say
a yes kid, and that's why so many things happened to me. Now, if I would have been a no kid back then, I guarantee you, a lot of the people that preyed upon me, that hurt me, that took advantage of me, they would have sat their asses in prison. A lot of them are still out here running streets in the neighborhoods where I grew up. Still, because I didn't say no, I said yes.
what I admire about you is that you don't seem to have a grudge. You're speaking truth, but you don't seem to hold a grudge. You have taken all these life experiences and let it be who you are now. And I know that you had mentioned that your father is in a place where one day you're going to have to be taking care of him. So you didn't allow that to stop love.
Right. I mean, I know a lot of people out here have a lot of anger towards their parents because their parents weren't supportive or their parents weren't the greatest of parents. My dad was definitely, not the greatest dad. He tried to be the best dad he could, but when alcohol got a hold of him and when drugs would get involved, he'd lose complete sight of what was going on with me. I mean, I can remember leaving the house with his friends and things happening to me and them bringing me home and he didn't say a word to me. And what did he get out of it? I don't know. Maybe he got more drugs. Maybe, he got, I remember one time someone gave me a whole stack of CDs like that was payment.
That's all.
And, like, I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. And if just being able to sit here and talk with you and 100 people see it, that's 100 people that get to spread this awareness to those kids that they're involved with or to people in their area. Like the only way to stop this is by actually putting your foot down and saying no.
We need to hear no more.
We need to hear no more.
I completely agree. Oh, we're gonna have to cut for a second.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I really hope with all this that people get to view and see that it just inspires more people to be able to just say no and to speak up when something happens or to speak up if they see something happening because, seeing something, you should do something. You should help somebody. Don't just like with Arena, with her getting stabbed in the neck and getting stabbed and stuff. And she could only sit there in a ball and cry and die. For all those people that were on that train. Like I know just as much as anybody, like I'm not an EMT or a doctor, but I watch plenty of movies. You put pressure on the wound, you give that person an opportunity to live that much longer.
Yeah.
All somebody would have had to do was put some pressure and hold her until someone could have got on their phone and called 911. Nobody did anything. They all just sat there. Even the lady that was sat across from her just looked over and looked back forward like, not my business. Yeah.
So we as a society has pushed people away from wanting to protect other people. So what do? You get out your freaking camera and you video it.
Yeah,
that's where we are. And yeah, one person that actually steps up ends up in the freaking courtroom.
Oh yeah.
See, we have to get to a point where we have to step up regardless Like if we
Yep.
see something wrong happening, we have to take action. We have to speak out. We have to do something because it's just falling apart at this point.
It really is. If we let it fall apart too far, we're gonna get lost.
Yeah. I already felt lost, honestly, because most people just stand back and watch it happen. Maybe somebody's calling the police. No, people have really got to take action. And I felt that way prior to, Charlie, but now it's evident. You
Oh
can't
yeah. Oh yeah.
not ignore it this way. What happened to Irene? That
And the movement that's been happening since Charlie's passing and everything, like watching what the world is doing, seeing these people get together, not rioting, by the way, not lighting shit on fire. Like, I don't remember much about 2020 and the BLM movement, only because most of it was wrong.
yeah. It was,
I know for a fact I'm going to remember all of this going on with Charlie Kirk and all of this world doing its turning point.
this
Because,
is the turning point. Yeah.
yeah, this is something memorable. The feeling I have is a memorable one. All that stuff was negative and violent and everything else back then. So it's like, I don't want to remember the violent and the negative. I like to remember the positive. I can only assume that other people are built the same way. If not, then maybe you are mentally ill. But otherwise, I feel like this is what's memorable for me. This is what makes me feel like I have my turning point at this point. I felt like I was kind of getting that already because I've always watched Charlie Kirk. I've watched a lot of his debates. I've sat there on the same side of the fence as him while I'm watching people like me debate him and tell him where he's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you're right, you're right. And apparently, if you're too right, one side is going to kill you.
But he went down speaking truth.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he's in a place where we much better than where we are right now. But while we're here, we have to step up.
That's why I was very excited about the opportunity to do another interview with you because I really did want to dig a little deeper and I really did want to be able to be like I'm one of those that this really was a big turning point for me. So, and I really want to encourage others that you can live your life. You can be gay. It's fine. But try to do it the best way you can. You can be gay and protect people. You don't have to be like society and hide them. You don't have to do that.
I don't understand the thing about, okay, so if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community,
Okay.
that is literally just preference and like partners, is it not?
Pretty
What
much.
is the mindset as far as,
You're allowed to feel the way you want to feel and love who you want to love. That's all good and dandy.
but then where does this whole mob mentality come in that you have to think the exact same thing? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. These are still individuals. Yes, they're part of a group, they're part of a community, but you're still an individual. What are you doing acting like you have to be part of that herd?
Well, what happened was we let the TQ plus community start talking for the LGB
Oh, okay.
because us LGBs, we've been walking fine in this life for a long time. Yeah, we were made fun of. Yeah, we've been victimized.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've always held our head high. We started throwing in the T and the Q and all the other stuff, which by all means do what you need to do for you, but don't expect everybody to be on the same page. Whereas the LGB, we've always been on the same page. I know plenty of TQ plus people from my past before all of this big movement of stuff that they were fine with their lives the way they were. They were okay with getting body mods and modifications and then going to work the next day still wearing a tuxedo shirt.
Yeah.
Like they blended into society and still was able to live their truth and be part of the bigger picture.
And then they had to go for the kids.
And then they had to go for the kids. And to me, that's just as bad as pedophilia,
It
honestly.
really is.
It really is, because you're just teaching the kids that, you know, oh well, you have these parts. Basically, if the other person has these parts, it's not molestation. What? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Don't mess with the kids.
That's really that was a, like I said, I support my kids. Altogether, my ex-husband and I, we had five. His youngest sibling, and then my four nieces and nephews of my sister's youngest seven kids. And my youngest thought she was trans. She's come to different lighting. She realized following the leader. And I'm so proud of her for putting her foot down and saying no.
That's all it takes is somebody to support. Okay, sure, whatever. We'll
Right.
support you now for this, but we're not modifying shit.
Exactly.
And just letting them go into adulthood and see what happens.
Yeah, no, like I've watched so many people at this turning point of events. Like I've been watching like lots of TikToks, and I've been watching a lot of other people speak out on their truth of the TQ plus, and they're like, why did this person support me to go and have these augmentations done to myself? They're in complete regret, and the only thing you can do at that point is to just be proud of them for understanding that they were making some wrong decisions, and try to be supportive of who they are now. And they're perfectly fine being outed and being part of a bigger picture like that. And if anybody's gonna be mad about anything, or if they want to go and cancel people, they might want to start canceling some of those people, because quite literally they were already fully on the other side, and they're coming back. And that, you know what, they're coming back to people that actually support them as a person, like healthily. I couldn't be more proud of some of the trans people that, sadly they went through it. Their parents were that sick as well to put them through it. Society put parents in a position where if you did it, then they were going to be hated on and canceled and called a bad parent if they weren't being supportive. Like, you can still be supportive and say no.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you did. And look, that person, she started to change her views already. We don't know, obviously, until later in life, but
right
now she's making decisions as an adult.
Right. Now, my ex-husband and I, his youngest sibling, the one we raised, they're trans man now. Yeah. But that was something that they chose to do as an older adult. Not something that we were going to sit and be like, okay, well, let's get school and take you to your doctor's appointment to see how long we can take to get your tits cut off.
Yeah, it's
like, they're a kid. Let them be a kid. Let them go through the motions of life. I did. Anybody normal and competent, they did. So quite literally, like, wait till you're an adult. Get a tattoo when you're an adult. Do your body mods when you're an adult. That's something truly for you. That's when you should be doing it, not when you're a child.
You need to get your friend my number. Tell him to text me, call me.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm very strongly have encouraged several people that have kind of stepped out. They speak to me in confidence. They don't want a lot of people to know sometimes that we even speak. Sometimes I'll see them out and about. Like, I go to karaoke still, and I'll see them out and about. But, they don't want to talk to me in person. But they'll send me a message later saying, hey, sorry I didn't say hey to you. I was with such and such or so and so. Well, maybe eventually you're going to learn how to say no.
Say freaking no.
Say if it's right for you, and that's fine. If it's right for you, great. But if you know it's not, and other people are making your choices for you, or you're just playing follow the leader, I'm calling them out right now at this very moment. Yeah. Say no. Do what's right for you.
Speak up. It's okay.
Yeah. What's the worst that's going to happen? Are we going to get Charlie Kirk?
Well,
I mean, I hate to say it that way,
they're
but
gonna
it's
try to cancel you first, and then Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
yeah, right. I
And
mean,
that doesn't work.
if that's the case for speaking the truth, prove me right and do it then.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like we're at that point now. If we're that right, you gotta turn around and hurt us, murder us, kill us, whatever it is, cancel us. If we're that right, that you gotta do that, show yourself by doing it. Because you're only going to help turn more heads and you're gonna be part of a bigger movement later on when we all are starting to have our turning points.
Or if we can just open the mic up and you all can just stop.
I mean, thankfully there are people like yourself out here willing to listen, out here willing to talk with, and let people like myself have an opportunity to be able to speak what's going on because I'm living it. I'm right here. I'm right in the middle of it. I see everything on both sides of the fence and I know what's right from wrong.
I open up the mic to anybody who wants to speak out, and just know that this is a place where I'm just here to listen. I have my conservative views. Obviously, I am MAGA conservative, but I'm not here to snudge anybody. I'm not here. I'm here to actually listen and understand where people are coming from, why they chose the path that they have chosen.
Yep.
And I'm just here to listen. That's all I'm here to do. Give you a place to speak up, say your truth, and that
Yes.
can do with me.
Yes.
And even if it's something I don't agree with, I'm gonna have a lot of things I don't agree with, obviously, but that's not my concern. I'm worried about people getting their voices out.
Yep.
Just speak your truth. That's it.
Right. I mean, if I had one thing to say to anybody, I mean, regardless of where you come from, what walk of life you have, if I have one thing to say, I would say that we've already made it through 100% of our hard times. We've already made it through 100% of our bullies. And we're still here. We're still fighting for whatever right that we fight for. You've made it through 100% of them. You can't be scared of the next hard time. You can't be scared of the next bully because if you've made it this far, you're going to continue to make it further.
See, I did it again. I started crying.
Well, this is a very emotional thing for everybody. People are too scared. You can't be scared. I welcome anybody to debate me. I welcome anybody to give me whatever their thoughts are on anything. Like I welcome it because however you feel is valid. But at the end of the day, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
If you just agree with Cal, you step right up. He'll be here.
Right. That's right.
Let's go.
I mean, God is a big thing. And if it wasn't for God keeping his eye on me with my own personal angels, like I said, lesbians, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like God knew I was going to be in these kind of circles. So he gave me my own angels. He gave me lesbians. Like I have lesbian mom friends. I have lesbian mom friends that I am so thankful that were in my life that protected me and didn't even know they were. I have female people that I've connected with that just hanging out with them for a day as a child kept me away from home. They protected me. They didn't even know it. Like a lot of my best friends are women, and it's because this has been my path to protect others. And I wouldn't be able to do that without the people that were in my life protecting me, the women and the girls and the females of my life, natural born ones, by the way. I'm not talking trans ones. I'm talking those women, those girls in my life protected me, and they don't even know it. This is me paying them back. This is me showing the light for them because really, what is the community doing other than trying to take women's rights away anyway? Trying to take over women's spaces.
That's so weird, right? It's so contradictory because
it is. Why would you want to take a woman's spot? Because you know these women are taking care of other people?
And
like they're actually a
that it works. Weird. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why are women, feminists actually defending this? Because they supposedly fought for all these things, and then They're like, okay, yes, and men can just say they're women and come on in. You can have those too. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. I thank you so much for actually being brave enough to come on here and say this stuff. I know I'm hoping it's going to give somebody else the confidence to really step up and tell their story. I think you will. I think you're going to reach some people. I think that you're going to give them the confidence to really just speak their truth, and it's okay. Just freaking spill it. Do not lie. Do not stay silent.
I really hope the women of my life see this, because they need to know what they did right by me.
They brought you up well. You're amazing individual and brave, and I admire you.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you in my life.
I don't do this to be admired. I really want to lead people the right way.
Yeah, but no matter what you face, you just come back in and you're like, I gotta say it, I gotta tell my story. You won't back down. It's
I'm not, and I won't ever.
amazing.
And I'll never be that yes man again.
I appreciate it, and I thank you so much.
And if anybody out there wants to share their story, I'm gonna give them your information. You're giving us a platform to be able to tell it. I'm gonna make sure that they have that opportunity just as well. I'm nobody's special. Everybody deserves that. Everybody has this opportunity. Everybody can do this.
And if anybody's watching this, y'all go down in the comments. Actually, give me something. If you want to reach out to me, you can actually, I'll put my email up on the screen, but it's Jessie@misfitsuncaged.com. You can email me directly. I will read all the emails. If you have a story you want to share, just let it go. Just type it out, send it to me. You can reach out to Cal, and he'll hook you up with my number. You could text me. Reach out, speak up. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's get the voice.
This is the turning point.
The turning point. We are all Charlie Kirk.
Amen. Amen.